Hey class, Jim here to talk about OneNote. So OneNote is a Microsoft product that we're going to use this semester for worksheets primarily. And these are written worksheets, and there's several ways that you can do them. We'll talk about the details of those in a minute. Let me give you an overview of how this software works first. So one thing that is always difficult in online math classes is that most of your work is through point and click and not through paper and pencil. So these worksheets are an opportunity for you to use paper and pencil and for me to look at them and give you feedback before you get to the exam. That's what's going to be really nice about the worksheets. Now, in order for you to do these worksheets, you have to have OneNote on your computer. And all of you have access to OneNote with your student accounts. Through Microsoft 365, you all have OneNote. It may or may not be downloaded as a desktop application on your computer, but you can do that through your Microsoft 365 account, which you get to through eWolf. So let's assume that you have it on your desktop. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to add you to the class, and what you'll see, what I see is the following. I haven't added you all yet because I'm waiting until the roster settles. So let me show you what it's going to look like. So I've just opened up, let's see, where am I at? Okay, Fall 24. So here's Fall 24, and I'm going to scroll down. There's all this content in here, and then if you look below, there's a list of students. So all of you will be listed into my global OneNote class notebook. Each of you individually will only see your own work and then the public pieces of the content. So down here, I've got one student's account open, and what you'll see in your account is that you'll have some folders. And so here's how the worksheets work. I will deploy the worksheets into your name, into your folder, only you can see it. And then this is what they look like. So there's going to be a concept page to the worksheet, which has video examples of how to do things. And it's going to give you a brief instructional piece to the worksheet. And then the second part of it are the questions. And so here's where you're going to answer all the questions. And you can do this in a number of ways. If you have a tablet, you can actually write with your digital ink, totally fine. If you have paper pencil, you can write paper pencil, and you can take a picture with your phone, and then you can insert the images right into OneNote. You can just, once you get them onto your computer, however you do that through, there's so many ways to get your photos to your computers. And you can insert them right into the worksheet really easily, like this student has done. So he used paper pencil. Here he used an equation editor. So there's lots of ways to do it. Let's look at the next week. So again, paper pencil that was inserted, lots of ways. Students will do different things in terms of importing their work. Here's another student that did the paper pencil technique. That seems to be a pretty common way to go. It's pretty easy to do that. Let's see where are the questions. So again, paper pencil and then inserted into the appropriate place. So that's a basic overview of what they're going to look like. One of the other folders you'll see here is graded exams. You're going to submit your written work to me through the assignment tool in D2L. I will then pull it into OneNote. I will then grade it by hand, and then I will drop those graded exams into the graded exams folder under your name. So only you will see your graded work. And this gives me an opportunity to return your graded work to you so you know what you missed and what you did well on. So that's a very nice way for me to hand back work to you. Now, the class that we are in is for spring 2025, and again, I haven't added you yet. As soon as I add you, you're going to get an email in your student email. So not D2L, it will be in your CCCS email, your student email, and there will be a link to join the class. And this email is going to come from SharePoint. And these days with the new Microsoft inbox, the new Outlook inbox, you may inadvertently have folders. They have this new inbox called a focused inbox. And sometimes an email can come in and get redirected and you don't actually even know you have it unless you're really comfortable working with these new focused inbox model. So if you are not seen on day one of the class or the night before even, I will add all of you to this class notebook before the weekend. So when you see this email, click on the link in it. And what it's going to do is open up our OneNote class notebook in a browser. If you don't see the email, go to the search bar in your Outlook account and type SharePoint. That way, if it's hidden in some obscure folder, it will show up. You can click on the link. And you only need to click on that link once. So let me show you what happens when you click on the link. So I'm over here in my browser now. And I clicked on the link and it's bringing me to the spring 2025. Oh, I'm in the wrong class. It's bringing me to the calc class. Doesn't matter though. It's all going to look the same. I might as well just go to college, pre-calculus. So it'll look more familiar anyway. Okay, so now we're in the pre-calculus class. And a class notebook has some different, it's got three main areas. It's got this collaborative space, which is where you and I can both write. So if I click on that, it's going to show, I have it set up so that it has all these weeks here. And this is where I would love it if you ask questions. So if you clicked on this title, you could rename this so that it's appropriate to whatever your question is, and then you can type it, or you can insert an image here. You can just drag and drop images really easily. You can insert things really easily, and then I can get back to you. The one downside of asking questions in OneNote is that there's no notification. I don't get a notification that there's a change. So I need to pay as much attention as I can. And if you post something in here and I don't get back to you pretty quickly, go to email jim.voss@frontrange.edu and say, hey, I posted something in the OneNote questions area. Can you take a look? That way I'll know for sure there's a question. I will try to check it regularly, but without notifications, I could open it and you could post 5 minutes later and I might not see it for a while. So if it's been some time and you really need an answer, just send me an email. I'll see it on my phone. I can open up OneNote on my phone and I can get back to you really quickly. So that's pretty cool. The content library, this is where all of our content is. We've got introductions for the class. I've got a list of how-to videos and how you do different things in OneNote, etc. And then down here is my private space that you can't see. So this content library, you can see, but you can't write. My area, I can see and I can write. Collaborative area, we both can see and we both can write. And then below that, you will see your own private area once I add you. Now, I clicked on the link and this is opened up in a browser. We do not want to use the browser version of OneNote. It works, but it works marginally well, not great. So over here, you'll see this drop down that says open in desktop. That is what you want. You want to be accessing our course materials through the desktop application, not through a browser version. Once you click open in desktop, you will see the following. Your look will be like this, where on the left you have all your notebooks. You'll have a default one from the system that you can play around with. So here's my default one. And then here's our class notebook right there. So this one will now appear in your OneNote. You never have to go to the link again. You can just open OneNote and you can go straight into the notebook. And so you want to be using the desktop app because then you get all the full functionality of it. So the layout, again, it'll look a little different when you're in the app versus the browser. But again, you will have this content area, it's all the same. All the content for the course I have in OneNote. Most of it is also in D2L, but I would really love for you to be using OneNote because it's such a great tool. One nice thing is that once you have a notebook, you can export this notebook to your own private OneNote, not your student OneNote, and you can have it for the rest of your life. So if you take a class where your instructor has enabled a OneNote class notebook, you can take those notes on forever, very simply. So that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. Okay, so over here on the left-hand side, this is just how you navigate. And notice how quickly you navigate. Everything is open all the time. So right here, I'm just clicking through all the videos that I've made for the course. Right now, I'm making this video right now. Go to handouts. Here is your spring 25 schedule. Most important document for the course. We will stick to this schedule. Due dates are all on Monday night at midnight. Notice that we have a couple of funny weeks. We have this week in quotes. This is going to be a long week because it includes spring break. And then we also have a short week down here, week 15. The 10th is a Saturday night, and I need all of the work to be done by Saturday night at midnight. Even though the semester ends on Monday, our class is not a Monday, Wednesday class. So I need everything in by Saturday night at midnight so that I have time to grade it all and get my grades submitted by Tuesday. So that's why this week is in quotes, because it's a short week. So everything has to be done by Saturday night at midnight, the final exam. So this schedule, I've got it here in the handouts. It's also up here under welcome because it's so important that you need to be sticking to that schedule. So I'm going to go back to handouts. The syllabus for the semester is right here. I am in the process of building the course formula sheet. For this course, there are no handwritten note cards or formula sheets. I will provide you access to a global course formula sheet for the semester. This will be available to you through HonorLock, and if you take the test in the testing center, it will be a page of your exam. And once I have it done, I'll have it done before the first day of class, you'll see all the formulas that you need to use on exams throughout the semester. Here are some blank unit circles. This class starts out with trig, and you need to know your unit circles inside and out. So here are some blank ones. You can print them out and practice them. I call this the 8-sector circle because this is broken into 8 sectors of 45 degrees. I call this the 12-sector circle because it's 12 sectors of 30 degrees. You can combine them if you want. I usually leave them separate because it's a little neater and there's more symmetry. So there's the 8, there's the 12. Here's the combined one. The combined one is nice because everything's in one place, but at the same time, then you have sector sizes that are different. Here's a 15-degree sector, whereas this is a 30-degree sector. So it can get a little confusing if you overlap them, but your choice, doesn't matter. Here are all the video examples that I've made for this class so far. So I've also got these in D2L in the appropriate areas. But if you're in 7.3, just note, oh yeah, there are some 7.3 exercise video examples that Jim has for me. So you can come over here and watch those. Written exam information. So here's a study guide for exam 1. Blah, blah, blah. For each section, detailed examples. Answers are not there, but if you come over here to the study guide answer key, bada bing, here are all those questions worked out. So that should give you a really good idea of what's going to be on the exam. Once the exam is done, I will post a copy of the exam here, and I will post a key here. Exam 2, same thing. There's the study guide. There's the study guide answer key. So those are available to you as soon as the class starts. Once the exam is over, I'll post the key here. I'll post the exam here, and I'll post the key here. And then here is the final exam study guide, and then the final exam answer key. I won't be posting an answer key for the final exam. The final exam, we don't give out answer keys for, but chapter exams we do. So let's see. The last tab down here has to do with our math centers. We have an online math success center, so you can register for the Online Math Success Center. If you click on this link right here, it will take you there. You can set up an account in 5 seconds, and there will be a schedule similar to this. These aren't updated yet. This is for fall. You'll see a schedule similar to this where you can get online tutoring. If you're at the Westminster campus, I will have the updated schedule for Spring 25 posted here before the first day of class. If you're at Fort Collins, and if you're at BCC. So going into the math centers, if you can, to get one-on-one help is always a fantastic idea. The Westminster campus one, which is where I work, it's open 9 to 7, Monday through Thursday, and then 10 to 1 on Fridays. And the other testing center, the other success centers have slightly different hours. You'll just have to look and see. Okay. So again, over here, the collaborative space, this is where questions are. There are the instructions right there. And if you click down here, change the title to something and post your question. And again, if I don't get back to you fast, get on your email, jim.voss@frontrange.edu. Hey, Jim, I posted something in the collaborative space. Can you take a look? Piece of cake, and I'll get to it fast. Let's see, what else? So when you're working on your worksheets, so let's come down here to, so all the worksheets again are set up the same. There's a concept page that does examples, has video examples all the way through. And then there are your questions. So this worksheet has 3 questions. So again, you can either write in here with digital ink, you can write on paper pencil, take a photo, and then upload it to your computer and drop it in here. That's pretty easy. Some students will do all 3 questions on one page and then just upload one page instead of 3 individual images. That's fine also. It's all good. And that's about all I can think of for now. In OneNote, if you're on a tablet, if you come to the Draw tab, this is where you get your digital ink up here. You have some standard toolbar stuff, including an equation editor. And so let me come over to Insert, and you will see the equation editor somewhere here. Where is he? There, I have it right there. But this is a quick toolbar, and I added it there. There should be the equation editor available. Oh, there it is. No, that's not the equation editor. Oh my gosh, I forget where it is right now. If you can't find it, let me know. I'm sure we could just type it into search and it would come up, but I have it right here. You can set up this quick link toolbar, and since I like the equation editor, I do it a lot. And so if you do an equation, oops, I did it up here. I want to do it in the body. If I come down here and I click on equation, you can, do math right here. And you can get the whole math format. And if I use the caret, the up arrow on number 6 and hit the space bar, it will do that. If I want to do a fraction like 4/5 and then I hit the space bar, it'll turn it into a stacked fraction. So it'll do things like that. Square root symbol. Ooh, I'm not sure if I'm going to remember the square root symbol. Am I? No, I think it's Control V. No, it's not. Oh, I forget what it is. What is the square root symbol? It does have a V. Is it Control V, Shift V, Alt V? I forget. I've got some summaries over here. If we look at the how-to videos, I can figure anything out if you ask me. If you have a Windows machine, I go through how to do all those different shortcuts to create the math here. If you have a Mac, I have got some shortcuts here, how you create exponents and fractions and things like that. So the equation editor is useful if you want to use it. Otherwise, if you're in some sort of worksheet, you can just use the ink. Or paper pencil, take a photo and drop it in. Super simple. Lots of ways to do it. Let me know if you have questions as you're looking through OneNote, and if you're having any trouble, let me know and I will get back to you. Welcome to the semester.